If you like to drive around and talk about the latest happenings, this is the channel you need. So subscribe and follow Carmentary.
That hit the spot. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Carmentary, the show where I talk while driving in my car. Oh my God, it's Orange Man! Orange Man! Where are you? Orange Man's van was just parked on the side of the road. Sorry for the overreaction there. Always excited to see my buddy Orange Man. So, I'm heading out to Niseko. And today I thought I'd talk about a couple things. Mainly weather, snowfall, temperatures, social media, a couple sort of might sound negative in the beginning, but then I'm going to end on a positive note, so hang in there with me for the next 10 minutes or so. All right, now I have decided that I am going to be well, I try to always be honest, you know? I think honesty is the best way to go. I want to be the most honest guy when it comes to Japan, snowfall, publicity. Okay? Does that make sense? Basically, what you got here, the situation right now. It is January the 9th, and we are experiencing the warmest winter with the lowest amount of snowfall in the last 40 years. 40! Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 decades of records being kept here in Japan. Well, there's records go way back further than that, but basically, this is the worst winter we've had in Hokkaido in the last 40 years. So that's saying something for sure. I was not here 40 years ago to experience that winter, but you know, they keep these pretty accurate records, right? So global warming, certainly a factor. I'm not against global warming talk by any means. Do whatever it is you can to support that and promote the knowledge related to global warming. But the fact remains that 40 years ago, we had a winter that was pretty much on par with this winter. And no one was talking about global warming 40 years ago. So maybe this is just a random freak winter. Maybe you have effects of global warming on top of it. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is that there's no snow on the road right now on the way to Niseko, and that is unheard of. January the 9th, it should be freezing cold. There should be snow everywhere. All these little bushes should be covered. There should be no sasa bamboo grass anywhere. The roads should be frozen, but right now they are melting and wet. About 3 days ago, we had actually it was like yesterday, a big storm came and kind of passed over Japan. The news went crazy with it. They were talking about like ridiculously strong winds, all this stuff. There's a storm pattern called the Nangan Teikyatsu. This is a Japanese word you may want to learn. The Nangan Teikyatsu is the low pressure system that comes across from the south, or kind of like from South Korea. It kind of starts over there somewhere, and it comes across, it goes over like Nagano and Niigata, and maybe the Tohoku region, passes off. It brings a lot of moist, wet, warm air. This can create heavy snowfall in certain areas. For Hokkaido, it creates snowfall in areas that usually don't get the snowfall. When we are in our normal winter weather patterns, we get the seiko tote, another great Japanese word. You like how I said that? Seiko tote. The seiko tote is also called the Fuyu Shogun, the winter shogun. He's the big bad samurai dude who comes in and just starts smashing pow down everywhere. That weather pattern brings snowfall to the western side of Hokkaido, or the Japan seaside. So that includes obviously Niseko. Now Niseko is our #1 location for ski and snowboard tourism. It gets, tons and tons of snow. It's the mecca of everything that is snow related in Hokkaido right now. And it's on the western side. So it needs that weather pattern to get a lot of snow. The Nangan Teikyatsu, which came through yesterday and actually kind of fizzled, it wasn't as big a deal as the news seemed to make it out to be. That is usually the sign of spring. It's the first big storm of the spring weather patterns. Now this usually should come in March. So during December and January and February, we get a lot of the winter shogun type storms. It snows heavily on the western side. The eastern side, the middle and eastern side of the island stays very sunny. It can be cold, but it stays kind of sunny. And then in the spring, we get this Nangan Teikyatsu that comes through, and it brings a lot of snow out in the east. When it moves all across into the Pacific Ocean there, a lot of that warm, wet air kind of mixes with some cold northern air, and it brings snow to the east side. So, very different weather pattern. But this year, it came in January! Go home, Nangan Teikyatsu, we don't want you anymore! Line. Excuse me. So, that's what we have going on here. Basically, temperatures are very high, unusually high. We're getting spring storm cycles already here in early January. Yada, yada, yada. Now, so back to what I was saying about me being the most honest guy. Everybody, kind of generalizing, but if you're looking at social media and your Facebook and Instagram and websites and everybody's got a lot of money riding on this whole winter tourism thing. Whether you are a hotel, a ski resort, or a restaurant, or whatever it is, you need people to come, ski, be happy, and be ready to open up your wallet and spend money at your establishment. So no one wants to go around saying how crappy the winter actually is. And this is a fact that you just have to kind of understand. I mean, I think people kind of understand that. So, snow reports, obviously, you can't really lie about them too much. If it snows 10 centimeters, you can say it snowed 10 centimeters. Maybe you could exaggerate and say 12. But you're not going to say it snowed 30 centimeters, right? They're going to catch you on that. So, snow reports are pretty important, and they're pretty honest. But in general, the whole social media, website, Facebook kind of scene, there's a lot of creative writing going on right now, if you know what I'm saying. Everybody was out this morning having a great time in the fresh snow that has fallen. It's so wonderful. A lot of that, right? But in reality, we're talking about dust on crust here, okay? On a good year, right? When it's just dumping and there's snow everywhere, everybody's happy, just it's going off. If it snows like 10 centimeters, nobody even talks about it. They don't even post about it. And now we get 10 centimeters and everybody's having a field day. It's like, hashtag it, man. Let them know it snowed. It's deep. It's so deep. We were getting face shots. You were not getting face shots. You were putting your board sideways at 50 kilometers an hour so that you were scraping the crust off, and of course it's blowing in your face. Sorry, I'm getting a little excited here. Basically, I'm just going to say straight out, this is, as of right now, the worst winter I've ever experienced in Hokkaido. Now, that being said, I know that sounds really terrible. Things can change here, boom, like that, in an instant. All right, maybe not an instant. Things can change here in about a week. If you have a good storm cycle that sets up off the coast and just kind of gets stuck there, sucking in that cold air from the north, little warm air from the south and the west, boom. Within a week, all the sasa are buried, the bushes have disappeared, and suddenly we have this amazing condition going on. That can happen very quickly, and I've seen it happen many, many times. Even in the very late season. Sometimes, I've seen things dry up, rain to the top of every peak in the island, rock hard ice. I thought it was the end, and literally a week later, full reset, 1.5 meter powder everywhere. Island was going off. That happened about 6 or 7 years ago. I've seen it happen many times. I'm not counting this winter out by any means. I think we have a long ways to go. But as of right now, in early January, it is low tide. That's another word that everybody likes to throw around on social media. I guess it's kind of a gentle way of saying shitty conditions. Low tide. I heard it's kind of low tide over there. It's like, sorry, I'm making myself laugh here. Yeah, the old low tide. I like that. I mean, it's a nice expression. It is a little gentle, but you know, if you understand the snow scene, you get what people are saying. Like low tide means like don't even go. Now, another thing on the positive note, and just to talk a little bit more, I think we all tend to generalize about snow conditions by looking at our local resorts. So, as I said, Niseko is sort of the mecca for snow and everything snow related. There's hundreds of social media accounts out there. Everybody's posting and sharing all this information. So you tend to get a feel for what's happening all over Hokkaido just by looking at what's happening in Niseko. This is far from the truth. Niseko is one small microclimate within Hokkaido. If you really want to know what's going on, you have to really search around and look at a lot of different information points, or get your information from a lot of different points. Now, some of that can be, you know, friends or people you follow on social media who post different things. Even like, you know, me, I'm always posting my little snow reports. You can look at weather bulletins. You can look at snow levels. You can look at maps. You can do whatever. And you put all that information together and you get an idea of what is actually happening. Now, this year, obviously, because it's warm, the good conditions are going to be at the high elevations. So, I could be saying, hey, it's the worst winter ever, Niseko sucks, but on that very same day, someone could be in central Hokkaido riding, for example, Asahidake, Hokkaido's highest peak at over 2,200 meters. The skiing is, you know, around the 1,500 meter range or a little higher, and it can be very cold there. They could have a lot more snow. Conditions could actually be super prime. And what I mean super prime is that the temperature is in that perfect zone where it's cold, it's like -5 to -10 Celsius, so you have a great snow quality with speed. If it gets too cold, around the -20 area, you know those snow crystals get too jaggedy, they start sticking to the bottom of your board or skis, and you can't get speed. So even though the snow is technically great, you're not having as much fun. So this year, I think it's all about elevation and microclimates. You have to get up high where the elevation is going to bring you colder temperatures and you're going to be in that good zone. And you have to really look at microclimates. Hokkaido is a big, big island. It takes, from Sapporo to Asahidake, is like a 4-hour drive. Okay, it's a big island. From Niseko to Asahidake, it's like a full day's drive in winter conditions. So the weather is going to be very different in these locations. Okay, so you got to really get in there and get in the information. Now, where do people get their information? As I said, there's a lot of different sources. Another thing you have to consider, and I'm going to call everybody out on this one. This year, or I think it started a couple years ago, but due to the really big increase in ski and snowboard tourism in Hokkaido, it's now a known fact that people are getting a lot of info from social media. So people, you know, who follow me and see my snow reports, they know what's going on in Josanke, where I live. And you start to, you know, use this information in your judgments on where to go. So what we're seeing now is that people have realized this, and they're starting to do the reverse, and they're starting to not post on social media. You know, it used to be like, oh, we had great powder, My friend took this photo of me with his iPhone. He gave it to me. It's so cool looking. I'm going to put it out there and say, Sahidake today was so amazing. Check me out. I got this amazing turn. I'm so damn cool. Like my photo. Yo, yo, yo. Not happening anymore. The hardcore, I'm talking about the people who really like snowboarding and skiing and whatnot, have realized that you start posting these great photos on social media and people are going to show up. Like the next day, right? People are here for a week or 10 days. They want to ride the best possible conditions. If they see a photo on Tuesday from a Sahidake that shows 40 centimeters of powder, they're going to be there at Wednesday, 8 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So, people have stopped posting on social media. This is one thing you have to take into account. So now for me, this is so deep. I hope you're getting this. If I don't see, if I generally know where someone is, one of my crew that I follow and I know this is someone out there every day, and I see that they're in this general vicinity and they're not posting, now I know it's good out there. So I'm calling you out. If I know where you are and you're not posting, it means it's good. Reverse logic, baby. So that's one thing you got to consider. Another thing you got to consider is that there is a large number of people out there, and I'm talking about like repeat customers. People come to Hokkaido to ski and snowboard every year, and they kind of know what's going on. They go around a lot. I have seen, and I know for a fact, that there are people out there who go to all different places and take a lot of photos and post them on their social media accounts. And no matter what the photo is or where it was taken, they hashtag it Niseko. Now, this is deep too. So, you have a situation where people are out there in other varied locations far away from Niseko, and yet they're hashtagging their photos Niseko. So everybody who's on there looking at Niseko go, wow, look at this, it's so amazing, look at this, oh, look at that, look at this, look at that, look at this. A large percentage of those could be from someplace completely different. Now this, for Niseko, is kind of a good thing, because suddenly you've got tons and tons of these amazing powder photos and all this stuff being hashtag Niseko, and yet a large percentage of them are from somewhere else. But who cares? It's bringing the tourists. They're going to come and stay at the hotel. They're going to buy a lift ticket. They're going to go to the restaurant and drink beer. Everybody's happy that's running a business. But long term, I don't know. People come, they don't see the terrain that they saw in the photo. They feel kind of tricked. Who knows? This is also kind of a hashtag problem globally. I've seen it with the Japao hashtag. I just want to set this straight, and maybe I'll end on this note. Japao is a word that kind of surfaced maybe 15, 20 years ago by a small group of snowboarders. I think Jeremy Jones was one of the first people I heard say it when he came to Niseko many, many years ago. I was with him, and he was like, oh, Japao, Japao. Japan powder, for those who are totally clueless. Japan powder put together, Japao. Japao has now become a viral hashtag. It's used on tons and tons of photos from Japan. And yeah, it's great. I love Japao. The word is fantastic. The hashtag is great. But recently, over the past year or so, any hashtag that becomes popular, suddenly you have a lot of these sort of big viral Instagram accounts that start using the hashtag just to get seen more, when the content has absolutely nothing to do with the hashtag. So I've seen that a lot. Though it's, there's ski videos and snowboard videos and all this stuff from all over the world that have the Japao hashtag on there, and it's not even Japan. I mean, come on, stop using Japao. Maybe the only thing I can think of is that they think they don't know what the word actually means, and it kind of sounds like a sound effect, like kaboom or something in a cartoon. So maybe they're like, oh, it must be like when you like do a big spray, like Japow, boom, like maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I thought that was kind of lame. So I wish people would keep their hashtags to words that really relate to what they're posting about. That would be nice in an honest world. But it's not an honest world, is it? It's all about the like, man. It's all about the engagement, you know? Whatever. Okay, so just to wrap it up, crappy winter going on at the moment, could turn around on a dime. But even though it's crappy, if you know where to go and you really check your microclimates and keep your schedule flexible, you can have a fantastic experience skiing or snowboarding, even though it's one of the worst winters in 40 years. So, there you go. I thought I'd put that together rather nicely. I hope that information informed you of something. Maybe you took something away from that. That'll be cool. And I'll be back with another edition of Carmentary soon. I actually just returned from Disneyland and Disney Sea in Tokyo with my family, and I'm going to do a Carmentary on that because we learned a lot about how to have a really, really good time with a little planning and a couple little tweaks and techniques, and I'll share that with you maybe next time on Carmentary. In the meantime, thanks for listening. I know that was longer than 10 minutes. I appreciate you guys always. Drive safe.
If you like to drive around and talk about the latest happenings, this is the channel you need. So subscribe and follow Carmentary.